Hello, welcome once again, Serving the Valley. I'm Roy Justice. Today, I'm not quite sure how I would headline our program. Maybe Panther News Update, do-do-do-do-do-do, or let's just get into our guests today and let them take over. University of Northern Iowa President Mark Nook has joined us. Mark, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for the invitation.
And today's topic, by the way, falls right into the classroom, if you will, with Jennifer Anderson, who has joined us. Jennifer, thanks for being with us. Jennifer is Business Teaching Coordinator here at UNI, the University of Northern Iowa. One of those fantastic instructors, I should say, who has found a home at UNI, and we're glad of that. I'm reluctant to embark on what's the latest from the UNI campus for a number of reasons, and we're not going to go much into that. But we do have an update on something that is kind of new, and I thought you'd be interested in learning what that's all about. And some facts that probably won't change. Number one, you got the money for it. And number two, you've got the instructors for it. And number three, it is new because it involves UNI and high school students. Is this the first time there's been a program like that UNI has embarked on?
I don't know that it's the first time.
Let's just say, is it one of the first?
We've done a lot of things to help teachers and educators. I think the thing here that's a little bit unique is really creating a separate curriculum for, especially in the area of financial literacy for students, right? And reaching out and being very direct in that.
Okay, so now you know the topic. Financial literacy for high school students. A confession here, it's got to be probably 4, maybe even 5 decades ago. My father said, why don't they teach this kind of stuff, if you will, in high school? When students start to get in trouble as far as buying a car, making a payment, owing money, getting ready for college expenses. And I said, gee, Dad, that's probably right. Well, here we are. It's underway. In fact, it is underway. You're already instructing those teachers who will be teaching it. Is that right?
That's right, yes. It all really started in May of 2018 when the governor signed into law that each graduate in high school has to have a personal finance class to graduate. So they had put it off a year, but starting this fall, every student has to have a personal finance class, a semester of personal finance to graduate, which is great.
Okay.
So
you mentioned they put it off. There were some amendments that people wanted to make some corrections or something on it in 2019?
Yes, they did, yeah, they did. They put it off a year just to give the schools more time to put this into place.
So this is something that students must do. It's not an option.
Right, yeah.
Not only do they have to take it, they have to pass it.
Yes, they probably do, yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's a graduation requirement, yes.
Gotcha, okay. And what do we mean by personal financial literacy? Explain that.
Well, it's really about money management, is what it is. And like you said, that's something that we all deal with. And I've heard from parents for many years about why don't we teach something that we all have to face. We all have to think about using credit at one time, maybe buying a house, buying a car, investments, even savings, and knowing these things helps us with a better life. So it's important that we have those money management skills.
Okay, what was it, the funding that delayed from the time my dad said, why don't they teach that in high school? What was it that sparked it?
Well, I'm not for certain what happened in Iowa. I know that there were a number of schools that already had it as a graduation requirement. They saw the need for this, and it's been growing. And actually, it's been growing nationwide as well for personal finance to be a graduation requirement.
So how did you start it? I mean, you had a little bit of advance notice that this was coming down the pike, so to speak. We know why it would be UNI who would be involved in trying to teach it. After all, there is a history there. But how did you get it started on campus, at UNI, and just recently?
Well, we already had a personal finance class, a Finance 1040 class in place. And we had a new instructor Steve Yerkes, who was a certified financial planner. And the class really became very popular, and popular because they saw a need for it in their own lives. And then when this happened with the state of Iowa, making this requirement, the Dean Leslie Wilson just saw that as an opportunity for us to help Iowa schools, really, in helping them get this information out. So we had this really great class in place. So then I guess my role was to take that information and put it into use for high school teachers. So making the presentations, the lesson plans, the ancillaries that are needed for teaching at the high school level.
So this activity for the teachers got underway before a lot of us saw things happen on campus. How was this done?
In terms of?
The presentation. Were they in person? Were they using Zoom, or how did you get the
okay.
message
So
out?
yes, we had this summer, we had planned for a 2-day conference for the teachers to come to UNI. However, because of COVID, we did a Zoom webinar, and which actually turned out to be very, very good. I was unsure about whether we could really make the impact that we wanted to, but it was a really good training ground. And we heard very favorable comments from teachers, even more teachers that want to come in on board with this program.
So the importance of this, getting it to the teachers first, and then getting the teachers to buy into it, they usually do without much problem at all. But then getting it to the level from a university age student to a high school student. Slight adjustments in it, or you mentioned there were already programs existing elsewhere in the country that had found a way to do that.
Well, they actually take the same final exam. We still have the same expectations for them because they have an opportunity to earn college credit.
Okay.
Now, really the big difference is just in presentation. So we've gone from a lecture style presentation to more PowerPoints, more in-class activities and choices like that for a high school teacher.
Seeing the need for this, if you can think back a few decades, Mr. Nook, back when you were a student, or maybe even, well, yes, when you were a student, did debt play any role in your life?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting question, because at the age of 11, my two brothers and I took out a loan for $350 to buy a lawnmower, and my dad had to co-sign that loan. So I took on debt at the age of 12. We mowed enough lawns that year to pay off that loan, right? So my parents were pretty active in my financial literacy at a very, very early age, and my older brother and I had had a paper route before that. So, we were starting to manage a budget and manage a small business, really, with the Des Moines Register, and then picked up this, lawn mowing service. We created and started, and we're mowing 30 lawns a week. So it turned into a pretty good little business for a couple of preteen kids, right? But we did, we made enough money the second year to go out and buy the next lawnmower with the profits and didn't have to take a loan out. So we were learning about credit. And I think about in high school, I didn't ever take it, but I was on a college track. Those that weren't on a college track had an option to take a course that really was about personal finances and personal financial literacy and sorts of things. But it really wasn't available to those of us in the college track. So it was around in the 1970s when I was in high school, but a very different focus than what we're seeing now.
So you learned at an early age keeping expenses low and building inventory.
Yeah. I learned a couple things. One, the importance of credit. Right, that credit is a tool, it's an instrument, and you can use it effectively, or you can use it very ineffectively. And then to manage your expenses and understand the difference between your revenue and your expenses, and manage not only your personal finances, but maybe even that of a small business.
So this is not just a one-shot deal. It's happened and it's over. this is a multi-year plan, is it not?
It definitely is an investment. It's an investment in our Iowa schools, really.
And the plan for implementing this goes over a number of years as well?
Yes, and we already have plans for, growing or, making the curriculum more robust here for Iowa schools. And perhaps it may even have a national, we might go, national with it as well, so.
So this is not just something, teachers, you need to sit down and they get credit for doing this as well. That's part of the program.
They did, yes. So with the training, they had an opportunity to earn a graduate credit. So they had to attend all the sessions, and then also they had to do an assignment, and with that assignment that they could earn a graduate credit, which was very helpful for them, yes.
So unlike somebody writes a check and now put this thing together, there was also some guidance that came as part of that. I assume that was even part of how it was formed, if you will, by the Iowa lawmakers.
Yeah, so there are standards. There's already personal finance standards in the 21st century standards here in Iowa. And then along with that, when the Senate file bill was signed, they have a whole page of items that need to be covered in the class. So that really makes our curriculum unique, because we make sure all of those items are covered.
Okay.
In addition to the standards. So that definitely makes our curriculum unique, that we can say everything is covered for Iowa.
Now, it would be interesting if we could bring in one of your instructors and have them just give a little example of how that's done. But through the miracle of modern technology, we're going to see that happens. Just a little snippet of that. But before we go there, let's pause right here.
We connect here.
We connect here.
We connect here.
So like I said before we took the break, if you wanted to get a little sample of what these teachers are being taught, we do have in our hands and on your screen in just a moment, just a little snippet of this. Watch this.
Hey, my name is Nick, and I'll be introducing the modules for the high school personal financial planning course provided by the University of Northern Iowa's College of Business Administration. Before we dive in and provide an overview of what you'll be learning, I wanted to take a moment and acknowledge you for taking on this course. As you know, this is a personal financial planning course originally designed for college students, but you're here because not only are you hungry to learn about how to get ready for the good life, but you could also earn college credit from UNI. Sounds like a win-win to me. You being in this course already tells me that you are ambitious, eager to learn, and curious about money. Or maybe your parents told you to take this course. Regardless of why or how you got here, I know that you are about to embark on an awesome journey filled with golden nuggets of information. In this course, you're going to learn the financial basics and everything you need to know to get ready for the good life, from planning and goal setting to spending and saving, how to choose the career that's right for you, and even investing and protecting. What you're about to learn can and will change the trajectory of your life for the better. If this sounds lofty or pie in the sky, don't worry. The materials and concepts covered in this course are rich with examples, stories, videos, and lessons. It's not about being ready now, but getting ready. The fact that you're starting now is a huge advantage, and you'll complete this course realizing that you can actually control your financial life. So get ready and let's dive in.
I'm ready, but can I borrow somebody's pen? I'm ready. Let's talk about numbers for a moment. You've had, as we're producing this program, a session that's gone through just one group that has gone through, or is it an ongoing?
We've had one group go through of teachers. So,
60 some?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's around 180 teachers representing around 65 high schools here in Iowa.
All right, so the goal is how many? I know you're just kind of taking a...
Well, it's not, I hesitate because we don't have really a goal of, dominating the market or anything like that. We're just really here as a service.
Okay.
And really want to help Iowa schools and want to be there as a choice. And frankly, I think we're a really good choice for them. And I see other teachers recognize that and are telling other teachers, and we're just very excited about the whole program. So
It's novel. Number one, you kind of surprised me, although you really didn't, because I remember walking on campus just a few years ago and being challenged with some of the material that was being presented to me. I wish I had paid more attention when I was in high school to some of that, and some of the lessons that the young man was explaining there. I wanted to sit down and keep going, listen to him. So let's hope the magic continues in that regard. And again, some of my notes had said, is this currently now planned to continue for like 5 years? Does that include funding as well?
well, the funding is for 5 years,
Okay.
but I don't see this ending really at all. So I just think we're just going to be improving it. So where it goes from here, we'll see. So
As the number one cheerleader on campus at UNI, I can see that you're also enthused to see this has taken off.
Right. Yeah. It's just great for the students of the state of Iowa, the high school students. It's a great opportunity for the teachers who educate them and engage them every day to have this level of expertise in front of them from the University of Northern Iowa. The strength of the College of Business and our finance program is really known across the state and much, much more broadly than that. So having this level of experts, and then the track record that we've established as a university in lowering student debt through a similar financial literacy course and private student loan counseling, things of that sort on our campus is what really set us up in a unique place to be able to reach out to these teachers, to reach out to the educational community and say, here's how to go about helping young people understand financial literacy, how they manage their money, the place of credit and debt in their future. So we really did have kind of this unique place, and as this legislation was moving through the legislature, we were having conversations with senators and representatives in the governor's office about what we were doing in our campus, on our campus, to control student debt and help students understand financial literacy as college students, even apart from what was going on in College of Business with the finance program, the personal finance program. So we came in with this really broad range of experiences of dealing with students' finance. So it made a big difference in our ability to step in and engage these teachers in how to step out and help students understand their personal finances.
I know as people are watching this, and at the time we're producing this, I've used the term fluid. That's what times are right now. this has been one heck of a challenge for Mark Nook. I know it was not in the job description when you got here.
Well, it was down at the bottom as other duties as assigned. But, you know, what has really made this manageable is that the leadership team and the faculty and the staff of the University of Northern Iowa. You know, if you'd have told us, you know, when I first got here in 2017 that in 3 years, you're going to take your entire programs online, get ready to do that. I'd say you can't do it in 3. We've got to have 6 to 8 to make that happen. We did it in a week, you know, but that's really a tip of the hat and a pat on the back to the faculty and the staff. It took a lot to get make sure the technology was there. It took a lot for the faculty to rethink, now how can I keep these personal connections going with students that are the hallmark of the University of Northern Iowa, and keep that educational quality up, even though we're moving to a very different mode of pedagogy and delivering this material. So, you know, the leadership from all of the vice presidents, from our team that we put together to manage that crisis, and then the team we put together to figure out how we reopen the university as a face-to-face university. Sure. You know, having good people is always the answer to making these sorts of things happen. And we've just got such a phenomenal faculty and staff and then leadership team to really look out and say, these are the things, these are the questions we've got to answer. Let's go out and find solutions to those and work together across all of the different parts of the university so that we come up with a really holistic package to being able to handle these challenges as they arise.
Thank you for the work you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
And Jennifer, thank you for the work you're doing as well. And thank you for watching the work they're doing. It's an important part of something new, this time from UNI. And next time, join us for another edition of Serving the Valley. In Channel 15 territory, that's what I'm all about, Serving the Valley. I'm Roy Justice. Thank you.